Okay. Small amount of technical difficulties there, but we are going. Here we are with SauCeKing versus Bisu. Diamond 1 PVZ should be a bit of a banger. In the top left, in yellow, playing for Born Gosu, it is SauCeKing. Going for a 12 pool, sick. In the bottom right, playing for the champions, it is Bisu. Alright, there's a pretty consistent way to defend the 12 pool. Gate, gate, or second pylon. You can also do it with a forge. This is pretty common. This is one of like the big skill checks for Protoss. Do you know how to defend a 12 pool? Let me stream it into the Discord. I forgot to do that. Okay, 12 pool, incoming. 6 lings on the way. We'll see how many lings he commits to. There are a variable amount of lings you can commit to. And depending on how many it is, the defense has to be a bit tighter. So Bisu sees it. Second gate, cybernetics core. He made one too many probes, so we can't actually make a second zealot, which is kind of awkward. 2 zealots is a pretty good way to defend this. With 1 zealot, it's doable, but it's just going to be a bit tighter. Second pylon does finish, so the second zealot will start, but it's a bit later than it could be. Alright, here comes the dance. The lings are going to put pressure on the wall here, and if uncontested, it will eventually break it down, so you need to sort of micro back and forth with the zealot to try and get them to attack the zealot instead. It looks like he's gonna break the core down. The zealot micro is not... See, this is why you need to get the second zealot out ASAP. The core is broken, which is gonna delay the attack a bit. No critical damage yet. We haven't lost any workers. The 2 zealots aren't dead. First adept is out. Gonna double up with the cyber core. We need something at the wall, I suppose. Okay, now he changed his mind. He remembered he already has a cyber core. I guess we'll put Stargate or something in the wall then. Not the cleanest 12 full defense I've seen in my life, but it got the job done. Stargate in the wall, Nexus on the way. Sauce is gonna drone up at home. Alright, game about evens out from here. We'll see what happens next. So there are a couple of different ways to follow this up. My favorite way to follow up a 12 pool defense is with a slow zealot all-in, because the Zerg has dedicated so much to the attack, they don't have enough to actually like hold the counter all in. You can also just macro out of it, which is also good. Alright, first adept gets sent across the map. Gonna try and get a couple of drones. Ooh, tried to shoot the drone that went into the gas. So 0 kill. Oh, those are lings. 0 drone kills, but does get out. Link speed is about to finish, so this adept. Okay, they're not gonna chase. 2 base layer. That's spicy. What could this be for? Going up to 4 gases on 2 base? Surely not Spire. Right? Oh, it's not gonna be 2 base Spire. It's 2 base Spire. Alright. Stargate is out, and there's an Oracle already out. Second one on the way. Where is that Spire? It is in the natural. So we'll see if this Oracle can spot it. Spore is done. Oracle gets a nice spot outside of Spore range. Gets 3 kills. Pretty sweet. Usually you only expect 1 or 2 kills with the Oracle, so getting 3 is quite nice. 3 Depth's gonna shade in, try to get some more kills. 4, 5. Oh, gonna just trade with him. There's not that many Lings out. The Depths will just clean this up. Shade into the natural, just shades out. 5 kills. Decides, alright, let's go home. Not bad. Didn't see the Spire though. Sauce is going, or Bisu's going charge. And last time I checked, Zealots can't hit Mutas. They're too high. Big Zealot all in though. He's bracing up a bit for getting attacked, but he doesn't know what he's getting attacked with. Spire's done, but there's no Mutas done. Big supply block? Yeah, big supply. No, not a big supply block. I'm not sure what the fuck sauce is. Okay, here we go. 8 Mutas, 9 Mutas. And all of our anti-air is 1 Stalker. Oh, here come the Oracles. Does he see the Spire? He still does not. He may inadvertently see the Mutas pop. Okay, yeah, he sees the Mutas pop now. Panic time! 6 Stalker Warpman. Upon seeing that, gonna have to start Blink or start some Phoenixes. He wants to finish charge, and yeah, Blink is on the way now. Just gonna run his Zealots across the map to buy some time, I guess. +1 attack on the Mutas, couple of Zealots. Okay, so Mutas aren't gonna get any damage done quite yet, but they are gonna delay the Zealot attack. I'm gonna try and get some drones with these Zealots while he still can before the Mutas just shit all over them. 4, 5. Do I see 6? Do I see 7? Do I see 8? 9, 10. There's a lot of drones. Mutas have not gotten enough done. Big Stalker Warpins, while 13 drones die on the other side. This is looking really good for Bisu. Zealot's still going to town. 14. $17 drones for like 3 Zealots. Not bad. The Mutaflock is getting pretty scary. 13 Mutas. I don't know off the top of my head how many Mutas you need to start one-shotting Stalkers. Seems like something Sauce might know. Fun fact, I've actually got like a sticky note on, not an actual sticky note, like a sticky note function that I have written down how many Stalkers you need to one-shot a bunch of different things, which is useful. So one-shotting stuff with Stalkers is pretty great. Oh, gonna lose Muta for free. He really needs this Muta. The only way for Sauce to win is for this Mutaflock to just sort of spiral out of control. So losing Mutas like this is pretty devastating. He does cancel a 3rd base of the Protoss, which is nice. Eco is slightly ahead for Sauce, but he has nothing else behind it. The army is pretty shit. Phoenixes are starting. Muta is quite fucking annoying to deal with because they can just counterattack instantly, which buys a lot of space for the Zerg. In my experience, the best way to deal with this is just to say fuck it, base trade, get Archons out. You can also try to regain air control with Phoenixes, but if you're going to do that, you really should double down on it to get +1 air, 2nd Stargate. Okay, we're going for the base trade. Mutas did go home. They really shouldn't have. They need to be in this mineral line right now and then force the base trade. Unfortunately, he's just going to fight straight up, and I think Bisu's army is just way better straight. I mean, that's a decent amount of road. Alright. Nah, Bisu's Bisu's cleaning up. The Muta's... Yeah. Bisu blinking like his life depends on it. Cleans out 12 drones. Gonna keep pushing. Muta's gonna try and regen. Ooh, fighting just the Phoenixes and only a couple Stalkers. Dividing up this army is a good start. Does lose the third base though. Muta count is at 6. So the Muta spiral. Not spiral, the Muta. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Mutas are not going to get out of control. In fact, does he have a forge? I don't think he does actually. He does not. Oh yeah, there it is. Cannon and a battery in each mineral line should be enough to ward this off at this point. A couple of Archons are out. He already has charge. He's got a pretty big stalker count. Sauce is technically up in supply, but his supply is very shit. See, this is what he needed to be doing like as soon as the army moved out. Phoenixes are all dead, so chasing these mutas is going to be pretty annoying. I still think doesn't have a good enough answer for all these stalkers. He's making roaches. The Protoss is up a base. He's making 8 off Phoenix again. 1 Phoenix in a dream. Blink forward? No. Lings is not a bad idea, actually. I think Muta is pretty annoying. You would put all of your gas into Mutas, and then you have a bunch of Lings. The Mutas try to prompt out Stalkers to be made, and then the Lings can trade with Stalkers pretty well, especially if you get +1 melee. This is a lot of Roach Ravager, but this is a lot of Stalker Zealot Archon. Alright, let's see how this fight goes. Mutas are poking in, big vials raining down on the Stalkers. He kills the base and just decides to leave? Or is he going to try and just get a better angle? Running away still, fighting these roaches. I mean, Sauce is up in supply. This is a lot. And if he gets surrounded, this might not actually be over. Is Bisu dead? Big surround with the roaches, catches the army. Kind of need a recall. Blink back, loses all of the Archons. This is a lot of Roach Ravager, and all of a sudden Bisu's army is looking insignificant. Sauce has been getting kind of smacked around all game, but Bisu's going to have to pull off a bit of a miracle hold here. His Oracles are all dead. He can keep them on a different control group. And so he's got no air to ground to help with these roaches. And I think SauCeKinG has pulled a bit of a miracle out of his butt. He's making Stalkers at a pretty slow pace right now. A couple drones die on the other side of the map, but there's nothing to stop the Roach Ravagers. That surround was extremely clutch. He managed to kill so much of the army, and just swings the momentum in his favor. And just like that, Sauce is going to win game number 1. This best of... I think it's a best of 5. I didn't actually confirm that, though.
What the hell is even that?
I mean, maybe Sauce can still throw this. Attacking into the natural here. It's 2 base versus 2 base. Supply is getting really low. Bisu's blinking his heart out. Big vials, big vials. How many gates? 6 gates.
No more core.
Yeah, that's true. No more core. No more Stalkers and Zealots against Ravagers is not that great. Bisu's back is to the wall. Can he do it? This is extremely all in. He's making spines at home for some reason. Has to pull the probes off the line. The supply gap, okay, 10 probes, no. Why is he making spines? I guess he's worried about DTs. Which I guess is fair. As the Zerg player, oh, actually, the Roach Ravager count is drying out. This may not be over. Can Bisu do it with 10 workers in a dream? Maybe those spines are going to become really important, because all of a sudden the army supply is swung in Bisu's favor, and he's going for the kill. There's not that many roaches left. I was saying that attacking into the natural here was not going great. But did it go so poorly that Bisu... What the fuck? What a back and forth game. I think Sauce has managed to let it slip out of his fingers. His fingers were too saucy, too greasy. Alright, pulling the drones. Bro, bring the spines down. What did you make those spines for? If not to hold this. I guess it's for DTs, but there are no DTs. It's just stalkers in a dream. Files himself, no!
What the fuck was that, Sauce?
Sauce, you had this. You didn't have it, and then you did have it, and now you don't have it again. You're killing the overlords, but the supply... These are laser lords at this point. Like, these are tanking overlords, because the supplies are so low. But this is all Bisu will ever have, because he has, like, no mining. There are no more stalkers coming, so each stalker that dies is basically gone forever. Sauce isn't mining that much, but he is mining. The Ravager count has gotten pretty high again. Made some Archons at home, and they're finally here. If you kite super well with the Ravagers, the Archons won't be able to do that much. Okay, now this spine is starting to help. This is such a tight game. Although, Bisu's finally going to take it. A lot of opportunities for both of those players to have won that. And Bisu just barely manages to get through with it. Let's see.
Blinking his heart out, like you said.
Just a reminder, that game started with a 12 pool. Not the best 12 pool defense I've ever seen, but it pulled through. He got a lot of drone kills. The Zealots got a lot of drone kills. There was a bunch of Muta harass in that game. Very exciting game 1. Game 2, we're not going to see a 12 pool again. Sauce has decided that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to, so we're going to mix it up. What's he got in store? Pretty standard openers. Bisu knows what he's doing, gets the chrono on time. 8. 17 hatch? 17, what the? Okay. Pool and gas before natural hatchery. Okay. I would be frightened scouting this. This sort of implies shenanigans. Sauce is a big fan of shenanigans. What could it be this time? I don't think we'll see Spire again. I mean, maybe we will. The Spire did go pretty well, all things considered. But I mean, he did just sort of get gutted by the Zealots. Could see like Fastling Hydra maybe. I know that's very trendy. A lot of Zergs really like Hydras. When I play Zerg, I like to play Hydras. I think it's kind of bait though. Hydras are really hard to use effectively. Okay, Bisu thinks that this is another Zergling all-in, and he is going for... Okay, this is bait. He's way over-defending. I like the core before Nexus if you see a pool first like this, but because it wasn't like a 12 pool, the full wall this fast is not necessary. Fast link speed, and he pulls out a gas, so there isn't actually that much. This is pretty much just a macro build from Sauce. So the battery, the fast wall, the zealot, pretty unnecessary. The way you can tell if it's going to happen is with your scouting probe, you watch when the pool finishes, watch the Zerg's larva. If all three transform as the pool finishes, you can know that Lings are coming, and then you can throw down a panic wall. But if that doesn't happen, then you don't need to. Hot tips from the claw. Scouting is kind of tricky. It's not super intuitive to figure out what's happening and what it all means, but that's one tip you can do. Alright. First Adept gets one drone, which is pretty nice. Loses it, which is not so nice, but for one Adept, one drone is, especially this early in the game, not the end of the world. A bunch of Lings are streaming across the map. Bisu did prepare for this already, so they're not going to get anything done. But Sauce, okay, so Yardstick for when Zerg is supposed to overtake the Protoss is about 4 minutes with 40 workers. Sauce is already up 4 workers at 3:30, or he was at 3:30 up 4 workers, so this is looking good for Sauce. Stargate is finished. Oracle is out and coming across the map. No spores are done, so this Oracle has the potential to get a lot of damage. Could get... okay, should see it coming. Should have seen it coming, could have seen it coming. Okay, there's the spore. It is quite late, so 2, 3, 4 drones maybe. Oh, bad target. Goes for this queen. Okay, okay. There's a second queen here, so he's gonna get 0 drones. Oh, it hides right in the, almost got a drone, but it hid in the gas. Okay, here are the drones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I see 4, 5? Imagine those 4 on top of like 2 or 3 up here, though. He could have 7 kills with that Oracle, but instead he went for the Queen. Minor blunder, I would say. Closes the supply gap a bit, but Sauce is still ahead. Alright, it's 5 minutes and Bisu doesn't have a third yet. He's on 3 gates. He's getting his Twilight. I do like this follow-up for the fast pool gas. Getting a faster blink to the stock account. Okay, it's going to be probably a blink all-in. It could be charge. We'll see what he decides to get with the Twilight, but this is going to very likely be a 2-base all-in. Roaches are already out. Roach speed is halfway done. Looking good for Sauce. Looking very good for Sauce. It's going to be Glaive. Okay, no, I changed his mind. If it was Glaives, he's already dead. Like, Glaives is going to do nothing here. Roaches are already out. Gonna go ahead and take the third. Off of the 4 gates. I don't mind this, but he does need to get something done with the fast 4 gates and the fast blink. Normally you want to get your third base and then add gates and tech. Doing it a bit later as a result of the early pool is fine, but he still should try to get something done. He needs to send these adepts across, maybe poke with the stalkers a bit when blink is done. There's no 4th base for the Zerg yet, but he is going crazy on the roaches, so I think Sauce is about to go all in. Bisu does have 3 oracles. Could even go up to 4 oracles. He's gonna want a couple of batteries, which he's already bracing for the all-in. This is gonna be pretty holdable from Sauce, I think. Or from Bisu, I think. The execution will still need to be on point. Actually, okay, 11 drones and Aspire. Never mind, we're not going all. Okay, it's not all in, but we're gonna try and get some damage done with this. Army supply is about 50% ahead for Sauce, but a big stasis. Okay, could have been worse. There are a couple more stasis wards on the field. Pretty decent stalker count. Another bit of a whiffed stasis. I don't think Sauce can attack into this. Where are the oracles? There they are. They're about to put in a lot of work on the Ravagers. Should be on the Ravagers. Yeah, targeting the Ravagers. Very good, very clean. And now he's just trading with the Stalkers. Away from the batteries, though. Yeah. Very strong pull from Bisu. These roaches did basically nothing. And he's prompted Bisu into making Stalkers, which means the Spire isn't going to be able to do as much. Now it's a 3-base versus 3-base scenario, which is always going to be good for the Protoss. Bisu is so far ahead now. Should have went all in on the roaches, I think, if he was going to go for an attack like that. The fact that he made all those roaches and then changed his mind, added a Spire and a bunch of drones. Not great. Should have went for one or the other. Spire is finished. No Muta's done. Or no Muta's making. Waiting for Corruptors, I guess. +1 in charge on the way. Gonna fuck up some Lings. Starting Storm. Looking very good for Bisu. Ooh. Might be able to cancel the 4th base with this. If he commits to it. He's gonna lose a lot of energy. Changes his mind, goes for the drone. I think he still gets this though. There's the Mutas. 9 Mutas. No cannons. Some batteries kind of around. Did cancel that. Because he got a 2nd drone. So at least Sauce didn't lose everything there. Where are the Mutas? Just chilling. Ling Muta Hydra. It's gonna trade okay against Stalkers. Unfortunately, against Zealot Archon and with Storms, there are no Archons yet, but I think Bisu just has too much. And he sees the Mutas pretty early with the Oracles. Plenty of time to get some cannons down at each of the mineral lines. A battery in each mineral line wouldn't hurt either. Multiple cannons in each mineral line. Alright. All in number 2. We've reloaded with Ling Roach. No Hydras, even though we made the Hydra den. Fat Storm all over the Zerglings. Gonna completely decimate that. And now all that's left is a handful of Mutas. Sauce is nothing left. They're on even bases, down in supply, down in workers. Sauce is very dead. These Mutas are going to be able to get nothing done with all of these cannons everywhere. Another cannon here wouldn't hurt. Oh, there go the Mutas anyway. Yep. GG.